The professor here. Today we look in on the genius clockmeister as he solves yet another horological conundrum.
Why, thank you, Professor. What have we got for today?
All right. Looks like we got a new project. Where the towel went. Oh, here it is. We got a new project. Well, hello everybody. We got a new project to work on today. Got this nice mid-century modern mantel clock from the 1960s that I have no idea what's wrong with it yet. Gotta do an analysis. I found it sitting in my storage, so I've had it for years, and for some reason I never fixed it. So it's a pretty nice looking clock. So I just want to fix it, see what we can do to get her back to life. So first thing we got to do is take the movement out. That's a little loose. The movement's loose. It looks like we got half the screws are missing. Yeah. See if we can get this out of here. Won't reach. You need the right screwdriver. Yeah. Something a little longer, kind of like this. This is a good screwdriver, huh? This will reach. I'm gonna have to find some more screws. That's a shame, this poor little clock. Oh well. I like these key hangers. They're a good thing to have. You hang the key on there. Although I don't have a key, I'm sure I'll be able to find one to fit. Look at that case, man. That's just pretty. We're going to clean that up even nicer, but that's just a beautiful case. And where can we put this case in the meantime? Put it right there, I guess. Those long screwdrivers help. What's the deal with this? What is the deal with this? We don't need this cloth here anymore, do we? I'm going to turn these down here. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Well, This is a platform escapement. See that? And that should be going like that just because I have it standing upright. So, who knows? One thing about platform escapements, man, if they're not working, if they're not running, they're garbage. Oh well, wants to run. Seems to wants to run. Oh look, somebody's got written time. And on this side, nothing. It's just the time. Let's give it a little turn here. Ooh, she's wound. She's wound right up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chime side won't wind at all. So the mainspring is in there, so it's either broken. A, it's broken, or B, it's disconnected. So that's a problem. This is a Franz Hermle German movement, a 150-010 movement. Somebody's been working on this thing. That's just a tool to stop that from going. Somebody got all kinds of black marks on here. Marker marks on here. Yeah, we got a lot of figuring out to do here. It's not a very complicated clock. Because you only have 2 winding arbors and not 3. So this is a time and strike movement. So the strike, it goes bam, 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 bim, bam, bim, bam type clock. And then it strikes the hour. Bing, 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 bing for 3 o'clock. So one of the things I want to test is turn the minute hand, see if the striking mechanism will work at all. Okay. What's going on with that? Nothing. Oh, is this the, oh, that's the wrong hand. So let's see. There we go. There we go. Everything's turning. Yeah, there's just nothing happening on the chime side. So my analysis is this. We have a very weak capability on the time side and nothing on the chime side, on the strike side. So I'm going to just put a little oil on and see if we can make the time side. Can we make this thing move a little? I know I don't need to oil all these, but sometimes you put a little oil down there, and that helps. And you put a little oil on there, and that helps. So she's fully wound. So this thing should be ticking away. Okay, so what I do? Well, the first thing what I want to try is two things. I want to take this platform escapement balance off of the clock, soak it in solution to clean it up. See if I can get that working better. And then I want to take out this strike mainspring barrel, which I can do without taking the movement apart. I can do both things without taking the movement apart. So I'm going to do that and see if I can find out what's wrong with that strike side. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So that's pretty simple. Now I got to let down the power, because if I take this off, then the works will just spin, because this is fully wound up. So I got to let down the power on the time train. Let down the power on the time train. In order to do that, you need one of these. You need one that'll fit, and that's a pretty big area there. Now I got lots of these. Oh, we got one that'll fit. Holy moly. Holy moly moly. Okay, so we just move that aside. See, I just moved that click aside there. Now I can put it back. And there's a little wire here that holds the click in place. Now there's no power on that one. On this one never had any power. Let's just make sure. See, no power. That one just has no power. Okay, a little screwdriver will take this platform escapement out. There's not a lot of repairs you can do to a platform escapement. If it's not working, you're pretty much done. You gotta go buy one. That's what this thing looks like. Just a spring and a... So we're gonna soak that in some solution. That's step one. Step two is we want to get this chime side off. I think we can do that. I don't know if I gotta take this apart or not. Maybe screwdriver with a little more torque capability. Keep these parts together like that. And you notice how that comes right out. And then, bam, you got your strike. And number 21. Just like that, you have your strike. Barrel out. And we're going to go and figure out What's wrong with this barrel? A couple of bangs on there gets the cover off. And I think it was in like that. Well, we have a broken mainspring. See? It's broken. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's nothing for this to grip onto. So it goes this way. The long piece comes out the bottom, and where the cap goes is just a short piece. Same with that one. Short piece is the cap, yeah. The long piece goes out the back. So we're going to take that out, measure it, get a new one. It's that simple, except that it takes time. Well, part of it came out. It's broken in several places. Look at that. It just broke several places. I have to be careful here. This thing doesn't fly up my face. Oh, it's coming out in pieces. I've never seen a spring break in more than one place. Wow, this thing must have been some brittle. Crazy. It's broken in several places. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Broken 3 places so far. She got broken 3 places. Hopefully that's the right. I have to go on the assumption that originally it was the right spring. Now, I don't know how long it is, because you got to measure the length of the spring and the width of the spring and the tensile strength of the spring. So you got 3 measurements. In millimeters, 16.7, 16.8, 16.7 or 8, and thickness 0.3. So I'm going to mark those down. I usually keep a pen here. 0.3 millimeters for the tensile. And what did I say it was, folks? 16.7, 16.8. 16.7 width. And then length. Well, length is going to be a little harder to figure, because I can't even get this apart. It's so tight. It's like a new spring. I gotta measure all the pieces. We gotta measure all the pieces. This could break. Oh, it's so brittle. Whew. Okay, this thing looks a lot better. It's sort of moving a lot easier. So what I did is I soaked it in paint thinner for a while. Then I took that out, and then I soaked it in balance spring cleaner. And then I okay, so here's the situation, just to update again. The platform escapement is all cleaned, and but it won't stay running in the clock, even though I've got it fully wound. So what that tells me is one of two things: that the clock is too dirty to have the power reach through the escapement to the platform, and therefore, under that circumstance, to correct that problem, I have to disassemble the clock, clean it properly, reassemble it. And if I do all that and it still doesn't work, then I need new platform escapement. Now those cost $75 US plus shipping for a new one, but I think I can get a used one on eBay a little bit cheaper. Probably maybe 50 bucks. So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. We are going to next disassemble this clock while we're waiting for the other mainspring to arrive, the one for the strike side. We got to wait at least a week and a half for that. So in the meantime, we're going to strip this apart, put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, clean it all up, put it back together, and see if we can get that time side moving. And my guess is yes, we will, because I'm going to clean up that mainspring that's in that barrel there. So that's going to come out. The mainspring's going to come out. The whole clock's going to come apart, but the mainspring is going to come out of that barrel, and it's going to be cleaned and then greased and put back in the barrel as part of this process. And that will allow it to release the power a little better. Hopefully it's not as brittle as the mainspring that was in the other barrel that broke into several pieces when I took it out. All right, that is the plan. Okay, so let's get started. What we got to do, all I want to do right now is get this thing apart. I was taking a little look at it earlier. As you know, in the last section, I took out the barrel for the strike, which had the mainspring broken. So that's the strike barrel. This is the time barrel, which right now, because the click is here, we know there's no tension on it. So I'm going to remove this barrel next, and then take the clock, disassemble it. One of the things I was just playing around, often what I do before I take a clock apart is I just put the hand on it and move it around, see how things work, make sure I understand how the mechanism works, because they all work similar but different. And what I noticed about this Bim Bam clock is you have 3 hammers. So 2 of them go once and when one goes. So it goes bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong. That's 3 o'clock. So it's a double strike. But what I noticed is that the one hammer isn't working, just the 2. So when you rotate this around, the star wheel makes makes the one hammer go down. See? The double hammers are going only, and they're supposed to be both. And what it is there's a repair needed. The lever isn't catching the star wheel, I noticed. So I got to bend that lever back in place. Somehow it got bent out of place, I guess. Or it got broken off. So I don't know yet until I get it apart. So Now, the other thing I wanted to mention before I start taking this apart is I seen one guy on the internet, on YouTube, taking a clock apart, and what he does is he takes everything off the outside first, which you pretty much have to do anyway, but he separates them and he tries to keep them separate, and then he takes everything from the inside and puts it together. So that's not how I do it. I take the outside parts apart and I keep them separate, and then I take the inside parts apart. I'm not worried about getting the outside parts mixed up with the inside parts, because on the inside of between the plates is mostly gears, and there are no gears with the exception of the motion works on the outside. So, and I know what the motion works look like. I know what the rack looks like. I know what the snail looks like. So I'm not going to try to put any of these parts inside the plates. It's just not going to happen. So what I want to keep apart are the gears on the inside. I want to keep the time gears aside, separate from the strike. Now you could take all these gears that are between the plates and put them all in one thing, and I'd still be able to figure it out eventually, because they only go one way. But do I want to waste time trying to figure out which gear goes upside down or upside right, and then is it on the strike side or the time side? So when I take the clock plates apart, I keep those separate. I keep the time and the strike separate, the T and the S. This is the S, and this is the T, and I put all the parts separate. It just saves time. It's not that I can't complete the puzzle, but we want to do everything expediently. So that's the reason I do that. So we're going to take this clock apart now and go from there. So we got 4 hangers here that just unscrew and come off. Now we can put those somewhere else. If I had a bowl, normally I like to have a bowl where I can put those parts. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of rusty. No, I put them there for now. Put them there for now. And certainly take these off because they hold the plate together. No, the plate goes on and they fall off anyway, right? So while you're still taking stuff out, I'm not going to screw these nuts back on. Just keep your plate from running away on it. I'll keep it old. One of these pops in. All right. Yeah, so we had to take these barrels like before. Some blocks you can just slide right out, and this block is won't. So we take a screwdriver to remove this part. Keep it out there. The other ones. So you can measure it on your time, left, D, and L. Those are not size specific, all the same. There we go. That's okay. That's the road on there. This is a 20. This one's a 21. Strike side is 21, which is a different size spring, and the time side is 20. Now, mistake I made is I went and ordered that mainspring without looking at this one, and this one might be just as brittle, and I might have to order this one too. So I should have took them both out. Anyway, I'll get to that later. So now, we oil the term. This is removed. You can't lose these places, just use these. Okay. Now, you have to do the strike side. This is a little worse. I can't get this off. I'll have to screw. I think I'm sure you have to put that together. I need to that's easy. I'll do that. Yeah, so there, over there. Okay. I see it. Let's see this. Come on, maybe not. That's really. I'm pulling down to that first, really, because it's a delicate piece of equipment. A very delicate piece of equipment. You don't have to. You call it pulling down because the wheel actually does float. The balance floats. I'm very clean the part. The rest of it. We'll never come out of that. Some way, somehow. It is fit. And look at that. It's a man. I can snail away with covered clip. Got to get that out. Because it's the same size. Off the cover of that. Snail. Most works. Alright. That's pretty much except for this piece here. That's off. This is another screwdriver. Alright, press on. You get it. No editing. I do these on 4. Much quickly. Ends off. Put a little line over it. Put it like that. Sorry. That's how it sounds old. Being very difficult. But all dark, all very difficult. Okay. Okay, I pulled it off. I had to use the little baby pair of pliers to pull it off. There's that piece. So that is what we had to do. I don't think we're going to get them to stay in place. Okay. Oh, it's obviously. I just got this one wheel I want to mark. Oh, I know it's time. Sometimes what I will do, as I'm doing right now, is I'll just mark the times. I know it's not going to come apart easy because of this middle one. It's below everything that has to come up, so it's going to fall apart. So sometimes when I know it's going to fall apart, I'll just mark the wheel with a black marker on the time side only, so I know which one is exactly our time. All right, so it's going to be a bit of a mess when this falls apart. Okay, something's holding me in place here. All right, we know that's time. Don't have to worry about that. It's always time. I can always see. That's fine. That's fine. This is what it's wait up. That's very good. This is right. This is right. Hold down here. I don't want to do this. Hold down. And it's right. There we go. There we go. This is right. This way. This is right. Oh, come in there. Oh, this stuck. No wonder. No wonder the clock wouldn't run. Look at this. This wheel's stuck right in there. Oh yeah. We gotta fix that one. The gathering pallet pin. The gathering pallet pin. This is the gathering pallet, and it goes on here like that. This is the one I had a hard time getting off. Well, I just broke it off. It broke off. It didn't come off. It broke off. Well, that's unusual. Does this one not come out? Somebody welded it in. No wonder I couldn't get it out. Well, without a gathering pallet, we have no strike side. Oh, we're dead in the water on this one. Just don't get it. It was in there so tight. I pulled these off 1,000 times, never broke one. No wonder it wouldn't come apart. Well, that is we need you. Yeah, got a wheel. And got it. Can we see one more? It's not. Where'd it go? Oh, well. I'll figure it out. Never worry. Never worry. Which one of these is the one I gotta fix? This one here. I swear to God, this one is shorter. It's a lot shorter. Something messes up too? It's shorter. That comes out a slight tilt. This comes out a bend tilt. It's not straighten out. Let me break this too. I mean, not worry about it. Yeah, I'm good. I'm bend. No, I'm bend a little this way. It's a little bit that way. Now we don't have to work. Okay, not yet. Alright, so the next step is into the ultrasonic cleaner for all the parts, and in the meantime I'll go on the hunt and see if I can find gathering pallet and the wheel. I have other clock parts similar to this that might work, so we'll see. But if we don't, what it means is we have a striking clock only. And I purchased a striking mainspring for no reason. That's clock making.